Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Connor Blackman, personal trainer, and really quickly, if you're not already, go ahead and click that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything and it helps my channel grow. Today I have a video for you called how to bench press. So this is a very simple topic. We're just going to be going over what you shouldn't be doing first, then what you should be doing, and we're just going to keep it real short and simple. Now I do want to say really quickly, this is my first attempt at recording a video with a external microphone, so we're gonna see how that goes. Hopefully I can sync up the audio easy. Anyways, on to the fun part of the video. The first thing I want to talk about is what not to do when you do bench press. One of the most common things I see people do that's a huge red flag is to lift their feet off the ground while they do bench press. Now this is a very bro type of move. You know, we call this, in the bodybuilding community, we call stuff like this bro science. The idea is to keep your core engaged and make it a lot harder, which sounds good when you say it out loud. When you think about what you're really supposed to be doing and what you're supposed to be working when you do a bench press, you can understand why this really isn't a good thing to be doing. The first problem you see when you lift your feet off the ground during a bench press is you don't have that stability you get when you have your feet on the ground. So that's gonna make you more likely to injure yourself or to fall off the bench, which sounds a little silly, but it could happen to anyone. And if you're working out with a lot of weight, you can get seriously hurt. So this isn't something to take lightly. And then the second thing that's a little less important, but still very important, is from an efficiency standpoint. With your feet off the ground, you don't have that stability. You're going to be doing at least 20% less weight than you could be with your feet on the ground. So if your long-term goal is to build a stronger bench press, or a stronger chest, or a better looking chest, having your feet off the ground isn't gonna help you with anything. I understand a lot of people like to work out their core as much as possible, but my recommendation is incorporate your core when it's safe and efficient to do so. So the next thing I want to talk about is inverted shoulders. So you'll see on this picture I just pulled up right now that my elbows are higher than my hands. The problem with doing this is that it risks injury in your shoulder. You can easily impinge your shoulder doing this exercise. Now obviously in this picture I'm exaggerating. No one with any intelligence is going to try to do a bench press like this, but you still see people slightly inverting their shoulders while doing a bench press. I see it all the time. The better position, I'll actually get to that in a second. However, I do want to focus on one thing that is right in this picture, and that is my eye position. You see where the green arrow is pointing up. A lot of people like to tense their neck up. They bring their chin to their chest. But again, this is just going to cause an injury. If anything, you know, you really want to keep everything relaxed. So the two big no's: don't lift your feet off the ground and don't invert your shoulders. Now let's move on to the things you should be doing. So there's three things I want to touch on here. Number one is my eye position. You see, again, my eyes are pointed up towards the ceiling. I'm relaxed in my neck. This is good. This means we're not going to tense too much in our neck and risk injury there. The second thing you'll notice with the circle on my elbow, you see this time my elbows are tucked under my shoulder. This is much safer for your shoulders, your rotator cuff. You don't really risk as much injury here as long as you warm up and regularly work out your rotator cuff. Overall, this is just a much safer position, and you'll notice my feet are flat on the ground. The final thing I want to talk about is powerlifter form versus bodybuilder form. Now here in this example, I would consider this bodybuilder form, and the two things you look at when you're comparing bodybuilders to powerlifters is that bodybuilders do things inefficiently and make them harder. Powerlifters do things as efficient as possible, try to make the range of motion a little easier and lift as much weight as they possibly can. Now I'm not going to say that one is right or wrong. I'm just going to discuss the differences between, and you decide for yourself what you want to do. So you'll see in this picture here that my feet are actually a little closer to my body. My back is arched and my shoulders are pinched back. This is a less exaggerated form of how powerlifters and CrossFitters like to do this. The reason they do this is because you can lift more weight this way. It shortens the range of motion and you have a little more power. So this is the more efficient way to do this. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that my glutes remain in contact with the bench. A lot of times you'll see powerlifters raise their glutes off the bench to create an even bigger arch and shorten the range of motion. This is stupid. If you do this, you are going to hurt yourself, no questions asked. If you're going to do the powerlifter form and have an arch in your back, that's fine, but keep your glutes in contact with the bench. I feel like I have less energy in this video, and I think that's just because I'm doing a little bit different style of recording. You know, I have this microphone here and I got pictures on my computer, so Hopefully this wasn't too boring to watch, but if it was, just let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to fix it. Share this video with a friend who needs to see this, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace.